Hello, and welcome in to another episode of the Football is King podcast. Shout out to our new friend Steven listening to the podcast. Met him at a wedding this weekend. He was telling everyone at the wedding to look at our listen to our podcast. So good for him. Appreciate it, my friend.
Hey boy, Steven.
Yeah, good guy.
Shout out Steven.
Yeah.
Even if he's not, we're gonna say he's a good guy.
No, he is a good guy. He's a great guy. Great guy. Yeah, there's that. All right. Today we're going to be talking. Hey, would you like to get a personal shout out on the Football is King podcast? Like, subscribe, smash the like button, all those things. 5-star reviews on Spotify, and share it with some friends, and we'll shout you out. Because we need all the help we can. We're slowly increasing to our 100 subscribers. We're into the 30s now. Woohoo!
Heck yeah!
There we go, boys.
We got some growth. So that's good. For those that are new, welcome in. Glad to have you. We will be talking today about college football and a little BS conjecture in sports and things like that. Because we like to start that. Yeah, if you can't tell, we do have a preference of Texas A&M on this. But we talk about all the teams. You're going to actually probably hear a lot of positives about the University of Texas today, which is rare from a A&M podcast, but they're pretty freaking good at football. And we'll talk about college football. If you want to listen to NFL football, stick around and watch our episode tomorrow. We release episodes Wednesdays and Thursdays. College football Wednesday, NFL on Thursday. And we like to always start off our college football podcast with a little bit of BS conjecture and other sports news. And there's only one thing to talk about today because it started October 3rd. Baseball playoffs started. My people that are from the Dallas area right now, how are the Rangers fans feeling as they blew it over the past week of the season and that the Astros win the AL West?
But they won today, though, didn't they? They beat the Rays.
They won today. Today.
All I'm saying is, let's go Astros. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. All right.
He would be an Astros guy.
I mean, I think I did see the probability of the Rangers winning the West was 87% coming into this week. So I'm not a big baseball guy, but something terrible has happened this week for sure.
To be honest, I didn't even know the Rangers were in playoff contention. I thought they sucked. So
they were leading at one point. I think they're the best record in the MLB. Besides maybe
they were, and then they had that series with the Astros where they got swept, and then they were terrible.
Oh yeah, no, I went to one of those games. It was.
They lost 12-0.
Yeah,
it was rough.
And then after that, they had a huge slide.
What's his name? Freaking Altuve. The short little Dominican guy. He had
3 home runs.
3 home runs and 3 at bats.
That dude's a baller, dude.
Shit was
at one point, because he also hit a home run the night before on his last at bat. His last 4 at bats were all home runs.
Dude, no joke. Richard's over there just clapping, just all excited. Chad and I literally go, all right, so we're going to get another beer? Or, are we really about to watch this game where it's just going to be a blowout without drinks?
So it's safe to say the Astros got the trash can up and running.
Dude,
right? It's gotta be.
Check
trash
that
cans,
wire, baby. Check that wire.
Yeah, check the wire. I mean, all those things.
Everyone in baseball's cheating. Who cares?
It depends on how you're cheating. If you're cheating
half of baseball is cheating.
If you're cheating with a camera, I'm against it. If you're cheating just by some other
with a trash can, though, who cares? Hey,
well, no, but they were cheating.
Old school and do signs at second base or something.
Well, they don't do signs anymore. Now the pitchers have the little catchers have the button.
Yeah.
But no, they were cheating by they had a camera, and that's why they were banging on the trash can, Shane. So that's not fair.
I do miss the whole getting caught at second base stealing signs, because then the next guy who has nothing to do with it comes up to bat and knows he's supposed to
get. See, I'm on team. I'm a
huge fan of throwing balls at people.
Cheating with a camera in center field is bad, but if I was a baseball team, I would have some pitcher that's just not going to play that day, and I would sit him in center field.
Yeah.
And he'd just be on the phone the entire time and just be like, hey, curveball coming. And then bang on the trash can. Then that's fine in my book. You gotta have your security in the stadium on lock.
You can pretty much see it in the bullpens.
You know, I think that they should make it a rule that the catcher has to give physical signs, just so we can bring back the rib cage pelt shot at 104 miles an hour. But
then that's also like sometimes those went awry and like they beamed the guy in the head, and then we had to work on the bar handling situation.
The game, you got to throw at people every now and then.
No, I'm fine with throwing at a guy, but not at his head.
The guy called a time or something while the pitcher was in motion, and like the next pitch, he just beamed him right in the back.
That's one thing I love about baseball is like
they get immediate justice.
Yeah.
It's great too. It's great with like the precision that they have. To where they're just like, oh yeah, I want to hit this dude square in his lower back. I'm gonna get it right between purpose. Yeah, right between.
We used to play wall ball, and you would peg people. We'd miss so much.
Yeah,
from so close.
Yeah,
those dudes, they're right on the money every time.
Do you? Okay, time out. Do you guys remember this
slugfest?
Do you remember? No. Do you remember the LCP fields? We're playing some pickup baseball game. Shane's mouthing off some kid. He takes the baseball bat while Shane is turned around.
Oh, I think I do remember this.
I grab the bat. Blake has the ball in his hand and is about to peg this dude.
I do remember that.
And Shane's like oblivious, turns around and he's like, "Oh, you're going to hit me with a baseball bat?"
Classic Shane's mouth getting us in trouble.
Do you remember that? Shane, do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Oh, my God. I literally, like, the kid was about to swing at you with the bat, and I grabbed it. Tyler, like, grabbed him. Blake literally has the baseball cocked back and about to pelt this kid.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's
what?
Basically the same story of when Shane got the knife pulled on him, and I hit a kid with the 2x4.
Yeah.
I was not there for that one. I was there for the baseball bat, but I was not there for
Austin, you remember that, though?
The baseball bat one, yeah. Yes. I was not there for the knife and the 2x4.
Fantastic story. Fantastic.
We had a really fun, for those that don't know, we all grew up together, and we've had a really fun, interesting time. I had, in fact, actually, Jonathan's going to love this. I got to tell my students about how Jonathan stabbed me when we were children.
Yo, you told people that?
Heck yeah. It was great.
You could have got it.
Don't talk shit about the Raiders, bro.
I know. That's what I do on a podcast, and you love it. So there you go.
I think that shit talk started during a humble game of smear the other person with the ball.
Yeah, smear the guy with the ball. Smear the guy with the ball is what I heard. All right. Hey, I do have another BS conjectures question, and we're running.
We've gotten soft as America. We know what the real name is. Come on.
Now, I know that this is more of an NFL topic, and this is the NCAA episode of the week, but has the Dallas Cowboys sanctified their sins of being America's team by killing the evil empire that is the Patriots? I mean this by the Dallas Cowboys retired Tom Brady.
Yep.
They beat him so bad that they retired Tom Brady, and then they might have got Bill Belichick fired. Like, the Cowboys might have defeated Belichick and Tom Brady for good.
I'm wondering if this offseason they'll ask Belichick to step down as be like the GM or something.
Correct. So it's possible that this will be the year that the Cowboys actually can win the Super Bowl because their sins have been sanctified.
I have arguments because, I mean, I know this isn't the NFL side of things. I don't think you need to ask Belichick to step down. I don't think it's his fault.
Like, I don't think so either. This is the first week that they looked bad.
Like, like the team's just not good.
Mac Jones is not good.
The team is good.
I mean, the team's not what he.
They kept the Dolphins. Well, I guess the Bills kept them to 20, but they kept the Dolphins to 24 and could have won that game. They kept the Eagles to a low score and could have won that game. But he just, like, Bill's system works if he has a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
Is Bill O'Brien?
Which he does not have.
Is it Bill O'Brien's fault?
No, I think Mac Jones just sucks.
I'm wondering at what point do you throw in Zappy and just let Zappy like if
they benched Mac Jones.
I don't understand why Zappy wasn't the start. Like, Zappy played great.
They announced it today. Mac Jones is done. Yeah, Mac Jones is benched for Zappy this weekend.
Zappy played better last year than Mac Jones.
But even if you lose with Zappy, you're like, you kind of know Zappy's not the guy. You thought Mac was the guy, But at least with Zappa, you're like, we know he's not the guy.
The problem is with the Patriots is the rest of their roster is way too good for them to be in contention for Caleb Williams.
Well, they just lost two of their defensive linemen, didn't they?
But they could get like a Drake May. Drake May could be good.
Is Bill Belichick too proud to try and go get like the 3rd or 4th pick? Is he too?
I mean, he might have to trade up, but I don't know. I think he's always been a
tank.
I'm saying if I'm with the other people around him,
I don't think he can tank.
He needs.
I don't know. Judon being out for like the season really helps.
Yeah, Judon and then
Judon helps the tank.
I just looking around the league, like it would have to be so obvious that he's tanking because
but he could go. He could be a top 5 pick.
Top 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to be the first pick. Go be a top 5. He needs some wide receivers and a quarterback.
Also, the Bears will have the number 1 and number 2 pick, and they might be willing to get rid of one of those. They should not. That would be a very terrible move by the Bears. But
you imagine if the Bears took like Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. or something.
No, they need to fix the defense.
I agree.
Their defense has given up over 30 points for like 14 consecutive games.
All right, wait. We need to talk about this next time.
That's next time. But I just wanted to point out
the whole rabbit hole and it's a whole thing.
I was gonna say I'm trading Justin Fields too. I'm trading him to the Atlanta Falcons or someone.
All right. The last thing I want to say about this. Hold on. I should have looked it up. How do I find? Where's my Super Bowl props? There you go. You could right now get the Cowboys at plus 850 to win the Super Bowl, and it's possible that the curse is over. So I'm just saying, you got some good value. Oh, I lost my camera. That's not good.
That is some good value there.
Hey, get it together, man. Get it together.
Whoa.
This happened
we got
last
side views.
No, yeah, sorry. Let's move it on. While we talk about our next subject, which our next subject is going to be the games from this past weekend. We'll start with the game that was not on Saturday, and that was with our lovely Oregon State Beavers just beating I guess the game was kind of close, but they beat Utah, and Utah looks terrible.
Before we say that, can we just point out that Austin right now looks like a 90s YouTube video? Like, side view. The early 2000s, like where guys didn't have front cameras yet. They're still looking at their computer.
That's all me. My webcam, apparently, it like clocks out after like an hour. And so it's when I started it at 7:30, it clocks out, and then
have you just been sitting on here by yourself?
I mean, I start the Zoom and then the Google Meet, and then I go do other things until one of you logs on. But I just make sure everything's up and running, do a little sound check, all that kind of stuff.
Good thing we got someone professional on this outfit.
Someone's got to do the work. All right. Oregon State
it every week.
I think the Pac-12 is a very interesting place right now.
Yes, it is.
It's a good conference with a lot of really good teams.
I think that there are going to be at least 4 changes at the top of the Pac-12 between now and the end of the year. Because I think they're just going to keep beating each other.
That Oregon State-Oregon game at the end of the year is going to be real interesting.
Oregon State-Oregon's going to be interesting. Oregon and USC still have to play each other, which will be interesting. Utah's eventually going to get Cam Rising back and can upset somebody.
They need him back bad.
Dude, yeah, their offense
is terrible. I still think they're dead even when he
need him back.
Correct. They are dead, but they can upset somebody. Like, let's say Oregon beats USC, but then Utah beats Oregon, and then it's just like, and then Oregon State beats whoever.
Well, and we all know if Cam Rising's playing, he's beating USC.
Yeah.
He always beats USC.
USC's defense is just awful.
They're bad.
Yeah, okay, so
it's worse than a Big 12 team. It's worse than a normal Big 12 team.
How does he have a job?
Let's move to that game. So I had a wedding Saturday. Fall in the evening.
Like, how do we feel about
No. Hold on.
I have one this weekend, and I am about to have a conniption over it.
Saturday night
I will be
wedding.
sitting in the front row. I'll be sitting in the front row with my phone in my lap.
Nice. All outdoors in Texas in September, or I guess it was October 1st maybe or whatever. But it's just like, how are we doing an all outdoor, like even reception outdoor wedding in September/October on a Saturday night?
We've already solved this. We've said on this podcast there's 4 rules to weddings. Not outside during summer, whatever you want to call it. Not during football season. There's 2 more that.
No,
but
Friday night.
Open bar.
Friday night is acceptable during football season. I am on team Friday night is acceptable during football season.
I'm fine with Friday night.
I don't even care if it's an open bar. You just have to have some type of bar.
A bar. At least a cash bar.
Yes.
Open bar preferred.
Yes.
Yeah, always. For all events.
Oh, sorry. Open bar, that's a lot. Beer and wine for free bar is preferred.
Yeah.
Like if you just got beer and wine, that's fine.
Really preferred. That's like top line.
I'm a big signature drink guy as well. I like having a bride and groom signature drink. I
will tell you this.
I like a little theme to it.
I feel like the grooms are always just like Jack and Coke.
If the game is close, your boy will be at the bar next door to the wedding.
Bro, I have a question. You're going to a wedding.
Is this your in-laws' wedding? Is this going to be?
Yes.
Oh, is it in the middle of the day, like during the Bama game?
It's in the Bama
5 p.m.
Oh no!
Oh, you're so screwed.
I'm gonna have my phone in my lap. I'm not.
Are you in it?
No, I'm sitting in the front probably. I'm gonna have my phone in my lap.
Like you
gotta have it muted at least.
It'll be muted, but it's
dude, have a headphone in.
These suckers last like an hour and a half.
Have a headphone in.
No, the SEC commentators are terrible. You don't need to listen to them.
Yeah. If we win, I'll go back and watch it and listen to it, but I'll just have it in my lap.
Blake, here's the move. You need to say, I'm going to stand at the back and make sure no one needs help getting to their seats. And
I'm not doing no. If they don't give me an assigned seat, I will be sneaking out the back door.
I have the move, Blake. This is what you have to do. The wedding's on Saturday. Friday morning, you need to take a shit ton of X-Lax.
Okay,
and just get your brains out. Be like, I am so sick. I have food poisoning. I can't go. I'm so sorry.
I'm not gonna lie. That's not worth it.
Just go get gas station sushi. You'll get food poisoning.
Don't worry. Your boy will be watching the game one way or another.
Yeah,
bro. And our group chat's going to be just.
Oh, I know. They're aware. I mean, I've made it well known that as soon as that ceremony is over, I will be out the door.
I am thrilled. And you know what? Shout out to my in-laws, because usually we go to the Texas-Oklahoma football game or at least go to the fair. Shout out to them for not having us go to the fair so I can actually watch the Bama-Texas A&M game this year, because it should
be a good one.
Be good.
Should.
So should we just talk about it?
No. We'll get there. That's way down. We got to talk about last week's game before we talk about next week's game. Come on.
But we all have so much to say.
That's fine. I have left plenty of time for us to talk about it. Don't you worry. All right. Hey, Colorado really are they an average team? Still a bad team? Thoughts?
I think average, but I think this falls more on USC's defense. This shows that USC doesn't have a defense.
I mean, we've known that. It's a Lincoln Riley team.
Yeah.
They are not a good team. They just USC's not.
Oh, they're average, Johnny. They're average.
It's incredible to see a wide receiver catch a ball.
They play Arizona State. They could win this weekend.
On both sides, dudes catch
they're
balls,
winning. They're winning.
And there's not a dude within 15 yards of them. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, one
thing
I want to give Deion props about is when he went to the podium after the game, they were asking about, what's his name that caught all them passes? And they said, why hasn't he been playing much? And he said, well, he sucks in practice. He looks terrible. And
I've honestly been kind of impressed with Deion at the podium.
Yeah, he says
he's handled his losses well.
Yeah.
He's not caused any major drama.
No,
How about it?
And he's real too. He's like, look, this kid hadn't played much because he's been terrible in practice. But you know what?
They're talking about that.
After tonight, he has deserved some real opportunities.
They were talking about that Cormani McLean kid that's like a 5-star kid, hadn't played hardly at all. And he's like, I know how much tape they're watching based on their iPad.
Yeah.
He's like, if it's 0 hours, you're not playing the game.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep it moving. Georgia still ranked number 1. I mean,
I'm very confused by them.
We're getting to the point where it's time to say Georgia is fraudulent. Like, actually, we might find out this weekend because they play Kentucky, which I still think they win that game. But I mean, like,
or whatever.
Yeah, A&M made Auburn's offense look pedestrian is a nice word to describe how Auburn's offense looked against A&M, and they looked fine-ish against Georgia. Georgia got it done in the end. I guess you can give them credit for this. They're very Kansas City Chiefs-esque at this point, where they could play like crap, but they know how to get the game over the line.
For sure, I think people are blaming their offense and the quarterback, but I think it's the defense.
I mean, the defense isn't great either, but their offense is. Brock Bowers made 3 consecutive one-handed catches that were just incredible.
That dude's amazing. That dude's he should.
Yeah, but one thing about
he should be a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, he should be. He about won that game single-handedly.
But one thing about Georgia over the past 4 years that we've come to like that sets them apart is like the typical Alabama team is their defense is going to eat you alive. Like
they don't have that.
They might figure it out.
They'll figure it out. They will figure it out.
They lost a lot of people. They're starting to like their whole team defense got drafted mainly by the Philadelphia Eagles. But like their whole defense got drafted. They got a lot to figure out. But the problem is
if they do,
watch out.
They figure it out next year.
Oh, they'll figure it out by the end of the season. They might lose one game, but then they might still win the East and sneak into the playoffs or whatever.
They don't have to play anyone. I mean, they might lose the I don't even know who they play. Mizzou?
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
All Georgia to make the playoff, all Georgia has to do is win the SEC. That's all they have.
I mean, you make that sound like it's an easy thing to do. Winning the SEC is not the easiest thing to do, as us A&M people know, as we've never won it.
Win the SEC or lose the championship in.
Yeah, if you go undefeated and lose the championship, you're still in. But like, I think it's more likely that they lose a regular season game and win the SEC championship than it is for them to go undefeated and then do that.
I just I don't know who in the East is going to beat them.
No one.
Yeah, Tennessee looks down this year. Florida is awful.
Georgia will see title game.
Georgia will figure it out. Here's the thing: like the crazy part. The crazy part is that A&M like dominated Auburn's O-line. I mean, dominated them. And Georgia did not have the ability to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like a week-to-week thing. And you see this in all levels of football. Like the New York Jets offensive line has looked awful all season. And the Chiefs' defensive line has looked incredible. But the Chiefs on Sunday night, their defensive line looked pedestrian. They were awful. Like Zach Wilson had all day to throw, and that's why he looked really good. Next week, I don't know who the Jets play, but I guarantee you their offensive line is going to look like trash again, and Zach Wilson will look like trash again.
I'm learning in college especially, like you cannot look at like every game is you have to look at it. It's a completely new deal.
Texas's offensive line struggled against Rice.
Yeah.
Ewers was running for his life, and I think he was sacked like 5 or 6 times. And then against Alabama, 0 sacks, and he looked amazing. So, I mean, I don't know if it's that
it's just college football.
Are they having a party with the girls some nights, the Friday before or whatever? I have no clue what's going on.
Quinn Ewers goes to Texas. He's having parties with the friends.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Sorry, no, I didn't mean Texas. I meant
of a starting quarterback.
They're partying with each. They're backdooring each other in the.
Can you imagine the life that these Georgia players that are 2-time national champions are living?
Bro,
they're back-to-back national champs. No wonder they're distracted on Saturday.
That's what I think it honestly is. It's like complacency.
That's what I think.
They go out there and win.
No wonder they're in a hurry to get everywhere.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, let's get this game over with.
Too worried about looking at titties and getting on hard than playing football. I mean, Lord have mercy.
Was that from Pardon My Take or whatever, where they read or I don't remember what?
That was from our podcast last week, Austin.
Yeah, but it was that I heard that somewhere else too.
I didn't hear.
Someone bringing up the Snapchat of Carson Beck. I don't know.
I just thought of it because our podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry for mentioning another podcast, but that was rough. That guy he's getting rocked
Bad
up.
look.
All right. Hey, we brought him up. Is Texas the best team in football? In college football?
I think there's a couple teams that have a case.
I think they're one of them.
They're one of them.
I think they're one of them, but I'm very intrigued by this weekend.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Hey, if Sark doesn't take them to, I'm not even going to just say the playoffs. If Sark doesn't take that team to the national championship, fire his ass. Fire.
Well, I disagree with that, but
yeah, I do disagree with that. If they make the playoffs, sign him up for another 3 years.
Oh, he's getting a 10-year, $100 million guaranteed deal. If he makes the playoffs.
Everyone should know that's a terrible idea.
Sorry. I say let him come to the SEC for a year first, and if he's still successful, then re-sign him. Because you're in a whole.
Austin, if they make it to the playoffs, though, you know they're not smart enough to.
I understand, but I'm just saying that's what I would do. Because as we all know, here on the Football is King podcast, we are smarter than all of the GMs in the NFL and definitely all of the presidents in college football. That's for sure.
But if he even they could have what happened to A&M have happened to them, and he's getting a stinking huge.
I mean, he's already on huge money. They're all on huge money, so.
I think legitimately, like Texas, Michigan. The problem with Michigan is they just don't play anyone all year.
That's
they play Ohio State. Georgia's always going to be number one until they lose a game.
For sure.
Ohio State probably has the best win, maybe. I don't know, Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think if Texas blows Oklahoma out of the water again, they're number one.
Do you think that they blow
which is
them out?
Stupid?
Because I kind of do.
I don't know, man.
It has potential to be a 50-50 game.
That game is always something is insane about it. Like there's no reason why Texas should have won like 49-0 last year, but they did.
Yeah.
There's no reason why Texas should have lost the year that Caleb Williams came into the game at halftime or whatever. There's no reason, but they blew that game. Like Texas has looked the more dominant team of the two, so I think they win. But
I think Oklahoma might be fraudulent. I don't think
they're fraudulent. I think that Oklahoma is a blue blood, right, of college football, and they're 5-0, and they've barely moved up the rankings. So like the AP poll is not impressed by them. They're still not even in the top 10.
They haven't played anyone either, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but they do look like they look like they might have a little bit of a defense this year, which is very atypical of Oklahoma.
Their defense has looked a lot better than in the past.
I don't know how they compete.
I would still take the over. I would still take the over.
Yes,
because that game is
65.
Yeah,
I'll always take the over for that game.
Even though Texas's offense, honestly, also besides the Alabama game, Texas's offense looks kind of poopy. But Texas's defense looks like they can hang around with anybody.
The other problem with Texas that I can't quite figure out is the fact that they've dominated everyone they played pretty much. They've never had to play from behind.
Only in the second half.
In the second half, but they played. Not that Baylor's any good. They played Baylor with a backup quarterback. Yep. They played Kansas with a backup quarterback.
Yep.
They play all these teams with backup quarterbacks that never – if you put up 24 points, you're going to win the game.
Yeah. Can we talk about the Kansas backup quarterback situation from this week? Kansas should be immediately deducted all of their wins because they lied on their injury report.
I felt like they were just like, we're throwing this game, and this is how we might lose anyway, so let's just lose it for sure.
Like they didn't list Daniels as injured until like halfway through the first quarter.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I saw that he was still on the. Well, he was
not on the injury report at all week long, and so then, like for gambling purposes, man, if you think Bean or whatever his name is playing, that's a huge difference than the coming into the season Big 12 player or offensive player of the year.
Yeah, that was bizarre. I felt like they were just being like, well, we might lose this anyway, so let's just lose it for sure. And then we can always be like, well, we got our backup quarterback.
Yeah. I don't know. That was shady. I was not a fan of what happened during that game. I mean, I was a fan. I did like that Texas won, but.
Oh, I did not.
I mean, that's fair.
I'm sorry. I'm like Johnny. I will literally jump.
Y'all are allowed to have your opinions. I am going to support my wife's football team.
Oh, yeah.
That's just playing each other.
That's just smart thinking. But me personally, I will jump off the top of the World Trade Center headfirst if they could never win another football
Not a very far jump.
I was just about to say that.
Well, you know what I mean. I've seen the video. All right.
It's so fucked up.
I'm writing that down for sure.
That's so fucked.
Woo! All right, let's keep it moving.
Austin, baby. That bravo, dude. Bravo. That was the best figure that you've ever had.
What's
dude.
What's it called these days?
Freedom Tower.
Oh my god, that's freaking hysterical.
Hey, can we talk about my game of the weekend? My game of the weekend was Duke versus Notre Dame. And you know what I came away from that game? Both of those teams are pretty good.
Yeah, Duke got hosed at the end because they lost their quarterback.
Yep.
So
I mean, did they get hosed, or did he just
not
get
in
hurt?
the game? Not in the game, but for the next couple of weeks they're hosed.
Yeah. How is he out for a long period of time?
I saw like 3. It could be 3 weeks or 4
All
weeks.
right, Jonathan, Duke is not winning the ACC.
If he's out,
I think it was a high ankle sprain.
Mahomes played on that next week. Riley Leonard, man up and let's go.
I don't think they give Toradol in the NCAA, do they?
Okay, that could be a problem. I apologize to Riley Leonard if that's the case.
I will say,
is marijuana legal in North Carolina?
Nope.
I don't know, but I'd be
okay.
I will say, I like Sam Hartman, dude.
Dude, that 4th and 16 was electric.
I like him.
I love
him a lot. You could literally see him like sitting back there thinking like, can I make it? Can I make it? And then he was like, oh, heck yeah, I can make it. He just took off.
I'm really happy that he found a place where his talent is actually shown.
Yeah, he's with a bunch of other really hard-working individuals. They all bring their lunch pails to work. You know what?
There's a lot of Caucasian skin on that side.
They're going to mass every Sunday.
A lot of coaches would let them date their daughters. That's for sure.
Notre Dame is up there with Iowa for the whitest team in America right now.
Oh yeah.
I like Notre Dame's running back too, though. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's very good. Estimate or whatever.
Yeah,
I do like Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame could be a problem for a lot.
Notre Dame's defense is pretty legit. They're good. They're a good team.
They're gonna struggle. They're gonna struggle with a team like USC.
Yeah,
I think because USC
will score 30.
They'll score 30. Notre Dame could score 30 potentially because their defense is so bad, but they have to outscore them.
For sure. Notre Dame would really, really struggle with a team like Texas. They would really struggle with a team like Texas.
Well, Notre Dame's other problem is
out.
Notre Dame's other problem with a team like USC is USC can score in 2 plays. Notre Dame is a
slow.
They're going,
which is a terrible strategy. I don't get these coaches that want I get if you're like a heavy underdog, hey, let's slow it down. We want 12 play drives to score touchdowns or whatever. But do you know how easy it is to get a penalty over 12 plays that just kills your drive?
There's so much more areas for mistake.
I love the idea in my brain of being like, hey, I'm getting 4 yards a carry. Let's just run the ball, and eventually you'll score a touchdown because you'll get a first down. But it's like
one holding
call, and if you can't have a way to get 10 yards ever, then you're just dead.
The crazy part is when you watch these games, if you notice the teams that play with a little bit of tempo, as soon as they get their first down, they're down the field. They're gone.
Yeah.
They're probably going to throw another first down on the next play. They're probably going to get another first down on the next play. But when they sit around with their hands on their hips, they just don't do it.
My question, though, is for teams like USC that we've talked about a lot today. Why does USC run tempo? Why, if your defense is so bad, you should not be running at tempo?
Of all people should not be.
Yeah,
I think they're just so full of excuse me, sorry. They're so full of themselves to where they think that they're just like we'll outscore anyone, so let's just go. I don't know that it's possible to have a great defense with an offense like that because you're on the field so much. Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah, but it could help. You could slow it down.
Help.
You could slow it down for sure. I mean, I know that they're going to every once in a while they're going to have their one play 75-yard drive or whatever, but that's not that big a deal. But when you're just everything is hurry up all day long and your defense is constantly getting more and more tired, which is why you keep seeing USC gives up a crap ton of points in the fourth quarter.
That's what I'm saying with Colorado. It's very evident the defense got worn down, and then they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, they were basically walking at the end of that game.
There was Colorado receivers that didn't have anyone within 15 yards.
And USC started to struggle on offense. I mean, they went 3 and out. Caleb Williams obviously threw that interception or whatever. I mean, it was just, I don't know. USC is a much better team than Colorado, but when USC plays better teams,
Notre Dame will be
the
Notre Dame is gonna. Notre Dame could kill, and I mean physically. Players will fall over and die because they're just gonna keep running the ball straight down their throat, and their players will be gassed by the end of the game.
That's why
they might just keel over.
Curious. I'm so curious to see that game because it's a clash of
two different styles. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're gonna have USC score in 30 seconds, and then Notre Dame's gonna take 7 minutes.
I don't know, man. Notre Dame
Hartman's playing under center.
Notre Dame might hold. I think Notre Dame can hold USC to 28 points.
No, I agree, but what I'm saying is just that you got a typical offense that scores in 30 seconds. You got another one that takes 7-minute, 8-minute drives, and at the end of the day, who do you think is going to be fresher? I can guarantee you it's the team that takes longer drives. I mean,
for sure. I want to see Caleb Williams play against a decent, more NFL-style defense because I want to see if he's really ready for it. Because we've seen it. So how many times have we seen it where these quarterbacks are, they're playmaking machine. I mean, he's very talented.
Yeah.
I agree. But he has receivers that are 15 yards open.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see him make he can make those tight window throws. I want to see him do it consistently in a game.
This is the Justin Fields dilemma, the Ohio State dilemma, besides CJ Stroud apparently, where it's they get to the NFL and it's suddenly you have to make it you have a 1.5 foot window to make a throw.
Yeah. Tune in tomorrow because top of the docket is CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans because they might be a little frisky.
It's also the age-old question of you're a quarterback on a great college team all around. If you're going to be a top pick, typically your team is pretty good all around. And you're going to get drafted to a team that quite literally sucks. So your offensive line sucks, your weapons suck most of the time. So
it'll be interesting to see how he plays against Notre Dame. So that'll be a little test of
you're screwed.
Little taste of what he might see. He's not going to get that anywhere else in the Pac-12.
I hope he sucks. Honestly.
We gotta keep it going. So I apologize. We'll find out. We'll tune in future episodes here if we were right about Caleb Williams. I have one last question from last week's games, and then we can talk about the Aggies, and then we'll get out of here. But Ole Miss versus LSU. Was Ole Miss right to storm the field?
That's the biggest one they've had in the Lane Kiffin era.
Yeah.
One
thing about Ole Miss, they don't.
That's $100,000, Jonathan.
Let the kids have fun. These schools have the money.
Care one bit.
Well, the Ole Miss definitely doesn't care because they'll trash their own campus for fun.
Let the kids have fun.
I just don't think LSU wasn't even undefeated. LSU already has a loss.
In fact, they shouldn't even be ranked.
They shouldn't be ranked.
LSU also doesn't look that good. So,
I'm just I get the game was what was there, 103 points scored or whatever? I mean,
it was crazy.
It was a ridiculous game. So I understand the emotion of it. But, come on, Ole Miss. You are a historic program.
Let the kids have fun.
Would you expect anything less from a Lane Kiffin-led organization, though?
Oh, Jonathan, I'm all for the kids having fun. But go have fun in the Grove and just get trashed.
The Grove's not a fun place.
It can be if you do the exact same. Neither is the football field.
Blake
you
and
get
I
to the field and you go, now
Blake
what?
and I were at the Grove and it was not a fun place.
I've been there twice now. That Grove sucks.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just saying, neither is the football field. You get onto the football field and then you go, now what do I do?
I agree. I'm kind of like
jump up and down.
Exactly. I would feel so uncomfortable if I stormed the field because it's I'm out here now. What do I do?
You take a cheap shot on a player.
No,
the player took a cheap shot on him.
All those people get arrested, so don't do that. Did
y'all see the video of the LSU player pushing that kid down?
You grabbed
the kid ran up at him and said, "F LSU," right in his face, and the LSU player, I don't know if he punched him or pushed him down, but the dude was on the ground with his phone.
A push is fine. A punch is not fine. I'm sorry. If someone comes up to you and tells you that you suck, you're allowed to push them.
That's what I think too. Honestly, you have entered their arena. So if you're on the field, LeGarrette Blunt took that shot at that dude.
Now, if you punch him, that's a different story. That's too far.
Don't push a girl, though. Just don't push a girl.
No.
Right,
if it's a girl, that security guard should definitely be fired.
What was the girl doing running right by him, though?
It was a good. The form though was a good pass block. That was a good pass block.
That was the best video that came out of that whole thing.
The girl came from far away from him and literally was like a heat-sinking missile towards him. It's like, what were you doing? You saw him trying to keep people off the field. Why did you run directly at him?
He was not having it. He was just like, nope.
Hey, I like how he gave the dude the old little shoulder chip though, and then that girl came and that was perfect form. I mean, he extended those arms and he let her have it. That was great.
He looked like that kid from Vandergrift High School blocking these nobody high school kids, just pancake.
He
didn't even care.
I don't know the legality of it, but
not great.
No. The legality, it's not that. I had an idea when I said let the kids have fun, but we need some Football is King merch. And I think we should get
that would be good.
They let the kids have fun.
All right, we'll talk about
that. Trademark. I think that's all you have to say.
I've already got another shirt. It's called Fire Bimbo.
That's true, dude. Austin, leg work on this, man. We need a website.
Whoa! How about
we just talked about how you're the professional?
How about somebody else covers some of the leg work? Austin's got only 2 legs, and he's doing quite a bit of leg work.
CEO.
That's fine.
All right, fine. I'll figure out how to set up a Shopify. I'll do a Shopify.
Actually,
I'll figure out
let me and Jonathan come up with the merch.
Dude, hell yes. Let the kids have fun. Fuck Lamar. Okay,
well, don't do that. All right.
Bimbo.
To bring it back to football, though, is LSU the most disappointing team in America?
No.
They're awful.
They're not the most disappointing team in America, but they're not great.
Is? They're a bad team.
I mean,
it's absolutely awful.
You gotta say Alabama, maybe.
Yeah, but Alabama has a pulse. LSU was a top 5 team. People were picking them to win that national championship.
Florida.
Well, but nobody was picking Florida to win a national championship.
No.
I mean, yeah.
Florida might beat LSU.
I don't know.
Oh, the old Brian
Iowa
Kelly,
State. Oklahoma State.
I
mean, you're losing to Southern Alabama at home. I mean, I don't know.
But the fact that they've regressed so much is the crazy part to me.
The problem, Austin. The problem is when people are actively calling for you to possibly win a national championship, and then you look like this. It's the Brian. To me, I just go the Brian Kelly fake accent experiment ain't going.
It just depends. It depends on when you're calling for it. Preseason, they're calling for everybody to win a national championship.
DBU is gone. Rest in peace to DBU.
Yeah, DBU is gone.
They are terrible.
Honestly, you look at the DBs in the NCAA this year, and they kind of all are terrible.
Yeah,
I know how to fix it.
There ain't a DBU this year, that's for sure.
Bring Les Miles back.
He's eating grass somewhere.
He's a good guy.
I'm moving us on because I want to talk about A&M because we keep winning. Isn't this fun? I'm having a great year this year. We're winning again.
I love winning.
And they're not even close games.
And we're not ranked still somehow. I don't get it.
Dude,
that's what I
crazy. That baffled me this
Here's
Sunday.
Here's the thing. We lost to Miami. And instead of saying, hey, Miami might be all right, everyone said, oh, A&M sucks again.
But it wasn't I mean, I know that our defense looked pretty bad, but we looked all right-ish for a long time in that game.
Bro, there's some teams that are ranked that have not looked all right at all.
I mean, I believe LSU still ranked 3-2.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
And we're 4-1. We're also not even the highest team not getting ranked.
No, not getting votes.
We're third. Other receiving votes in front of us are Maryland and Kansas State.
You're telling me we can't beat Maryland or Kansas State?
Dude, I don't know. Maryland's a fun team to watch. I like Maryland.
But they got Ohio State this weekend, so they'll probably lose. But the crazy part is LSU potentially could be 2-3. They almost lost to Arkansas last week.
Yeah, it's fine.
They are not.
I'll give you this. I'll give you this. Fresno State and Louisville, both 5-0. Is A&M better than both of those schools? Yes, but they're 5-0. Give them their rankings. That's fine. LSU is 3-2. We should be ahead of them.
No,
Tennessee is 4-1. That's fine. We're 4-1. Tennessee's 4-1. Let it be. Missouri and Kentucky 5-0. Like, it's fine. I'm fine with every team except for LSU.
No one believes in us. We got the underdog
just
thing
win.
going
just
on.
win. Just win.
Keep on winning.
Hey,
we're winning.
That should be a Jimbo speech right there. No one believes in you.
Yep.
Go out there and fucking prove them wrong.
Hey, and you know what? We're
Nick
now
Saban's
an unranked team playing Alabama this week. So if we win, I approve of storming the field. We are unranked.
Storm it, baby. Let the kids have fun. Trademark.
Let the kids have fun.
You want to know something crazy? You want to know something even crazier? The BCS. I follow this Twitter account that does the BCS rankings every week. They have the equation down, I guess. Miami. If this was the BCS, supposedly Miami would be number 1 based on the equation.
Oh,
nice.
It's crazy.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. That kid is pretty good at quarterback.
Miami might go undefeated.
Yes, Miami's not a bad football team.
Miami might be the team that wins the ACC.
Their defensive line is legit. Their O-line is legit.
Yeah,
their
they're
quarterback
good.
is legit.
Look, and we didn't even have
their
our
secondary is
quarterback
suspect
in when we played them.
Secondary suspect. The crazy part is, like, when we lost, everyone just everyone just said, "Oh, A&M sucks."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, how can it's possible that Miami is also?
It is because our defense looked like they sucked.
Agreed, but we were in the game. It wasn't like we got blown out. We were
in the game till what? Early fourth quarter.
They ran that pump back or the kick return back, and that was about it.
This is what we always say about Alabama. I'm not comparing us to Alabama, but what do we always say about you want them early in the season? That's the problem when you play another good team early in the year. You might get looked. You might make yourself look stupid, even if you're not a stupid football team.
I think we will end up being ranked by the end of the year because I think that we will go 8-5.
We'll go 10-2 at best, I think.
Okay, that's optimistic. But I'm saying I think worst case scenario we go 8-5 maybe. I guess
the SEC does not scare me right. The SEC does not scare me at all.
No,
like, if we don't go 10-2, Fire Bimbo is coming out large. We better go 10-2.
I'm figuring it out right now, dude.
Hey, this is something that takes we need full focus on that. So hey, let's because I'll buy a shirt. I won't buy the.
I'm literally. I figured out how to do it.
Nice. I won't buy a Fire Bimbo shirt because I'm not ready for that yet. But I will buy let the kids have fun.
We're gonna have merch soon. Coming soon. We'll have.
I'm all in. I'm all in on in the SEC championship right now.
All right. Hey, we figured it out.
I'm in.
To Atlanta! Let's go!
All right. Shane, I will say this. I love that you do your podcast in the car. But when you shout, your audio gets real bad.
It usually cuts me out, so I don't care.
Everything else is fine, but your audio when you scream is not great.
Talk to Elon about your audio.
No. That's not. That's probably just because he's probably on his phone or his computer or whatever. It's just a microphone issue. It's probably got a gate on it that cuts out sound above a certain decibel.
No, that's why.
Honestly, hey, can we get a shout out to Elon? Shane has not cut out once yet so far. Shout out Elon.
There we go, Elon. Thanks
I love you, Elon.
Baby.
All right.
Reproducing the earth by yourself. You're just out here.
Let's get to college football week 6. We don't usually do this on the Football is King podcast, but we're going to today. We're going to make some predictions because it's a big weekend in college football. Since we're already talking about the Aggies, let's start there. I want you to give me a percentage chance that they beat Alabama in College Station this weekend.
99.5% chance.
I'm pretty optimistic. I'm not 99%. I'm about 66%.
I'm going with 72.5.
Let's go! go!
Oh, that's great. Yeah. All right. I'm at as always, relative pessimist here I'm at 49% that we win. It's almost
Here's
a
the thing.
50-50.
Here's the thing with Alabama. We're good at what they're bad at. That's what has me optimistic. They cannot block. We can rush the quarterback.
And we have had success playing them in College Station. I think the stadium will definitely be up for it. For sure. It's
last year. We almost beat them last year.
Yeah, it's 2:30 game.
Conversion. 2:30 game.
2:30 kick. Beautiful weather this weekend in College Station. Should be.
Yes,
supposedly it might even be hoodie weather.
It might be a little hoodie
weather.
Be
a little hoodie weather, man. The lows in the 50s, the highs in the 70s.
I feel great.
I was hoping
to buy
last minute tickets
it'd be great.
Game,
this time next year, we'll have some Footballist King hoodie merch that you can wear to the game.
There you go.
I've never felt so. This is usually when we're about to play Alabama. I say no shot. We don't have a chance. This year, I feel a little bit optimistic.
I'm usually at a 10% chance, and now I'm up to 49. That's pretty good.
I'm confident. If Austin's almost at 50, dude, we're doing good.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Mute me. If we lose this game, I'm going to slit my wrist starting at the top of my index finger and just work my way down. I'm going to come to here and I'm gonna be pissed.
I only live an hour away. If it looks like it's going south, I'll just drive to
I'm not gonna lie, now that we're on Google Meet, I don't know how to mute people, so
good.
Hold on. Where's my mouse?
Found a way to do a lot of shit. He's got backgrounds.
Oh wait, I can do that. Okay, I figured out how to mute people. All right. The other big games for next week.
My nips are cold.
We got the Red River rivalry.
I
think it's gonna be a good one. I think it's gonna be a good game.
I think Texas might blow. I think Texas might blow them out.
Texas is clearly the favorite as of 9:08 Central.
OU still sucks.
Okay, that's not where I was going with that, but way to be a Texas fan. 9:08 Central on Tuesday night. What is the spread? Texas is a 6.5 point favorites. I think that's a fair line.
Yeah,
I like Texas over 6.5.
I think Texas covers.
Yep.
I think it has potential to be a blowout.
I think Texas wins by 2 touchdowns.
I think they win by 2 touchdowns. I think the last touchdown comes in the last 3 minutes.
Who has Oklahoma played? Who have they played?
Nobody.
That is a great. I mean,
Cincinnati. They beat Cincinnati 20-7 or something.
Texas hasn't really played anybody either,
except for Alabama.
But I mean, is Alabama really good? I don't know.
They're better than anyone else they play.
Well, if we beat them, I'm going to say they're the best team in the country besides us. So
they beat Arkansas State, SMU, Tulsa, Cincinnati, and Iowa State.
SMU was a 3-point game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a reason why Oklahoma being 5-0 is still ranked number 12. Oklahoma is clearly an underdog in this game. However, this game can be wild.
Charlie Strong won a Red River rivalry game.
Insane. So
anything can happen.
I do think that this year it's not a 49-0. I was there when Charlie Strong won.
And he got hoisted on by the players.
I was
they win 2 games that year, and he got hoisted by the players.
Sarah and I were literally.
What an embarrassment!
They brought him to the corner of the end zone that was right in front of us, and we were going crazy. It was fun.
Can you imagine winning a regular season game and picking up your coach on your shoulders, and then winning 3 games in that year?
Yeah,
3
that was
games.
that was the only game. Or that was my first time going to a UT Oklahoma game in person, and I had a blast. It is really freaking hot. I'll tell you that. It's super hot in that stadium.
This weekend's gonna be nice.
Yeah, that's true.
I
5 core values, y'all. Don't beat
Charlie Strong.
No guns.
And they hit more women and had more guns than anyone.
More guns than any other team in the college football. The sad part is they needed people to tell them not to hit women. That's the more sad part.
Yeah.
That was not as disastrous as the Kevin
Charlie Strong, rest in peace, but that was just a bad time in my life. Those fans love Charlie Strong for some reason. I just don't know why.
All right.
I can tell you why.
Hey.
Do you want me to tell you why? Do you
No.
want me to tell you
Shut
why?
up. We got to wrap it up. Let's go. We're pushing an hour.
He is.
So LSU
great
plays
guy.
Missouri this week. I know we just talked like for 5 minutes about how terrible LSU is. But are we going to find
really want
out?
to take Mizzou in that one.
I like Mizzou.
Is it 6.5? Is the spread 6.5?
Oh, I just closed it. I don't know. Give me a second.
I think
like
it's 6.5,
Mizzou.
and I really want to take Mizzou in that one, but I don't trust Mizzou either necessarily.
LSU is favored?
Favored by 6.5, I believe.
That's kind of a lot. Yeah, they're favored by 6.5. At Missouri. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it seems wild to me.
And then we got the other game. Sorry, the other game that I highlighted from this weekend. Can Kentucky beat Georgia?
Can they? Yes.
It's in Athens. That's a big deal to me, in my opinion.
This strikes me
if
as
this
a game
game
that
was
will be
not
30
in
points.
Athens, I am all aboard Kentucky upsetting Georgia.
Dude, I like
I don't-
Kentucky. They won me again this week. I like them.
This strikes me as a 30-point game.
I think this might be the week that Georgia says, hello,
I do.
we're
too.
back.
I think it's either going to be super close or it's going to be a blow.
Well, those
That's
are the
true.
two
It
options.
could be
Thank you,
very
Shane.
interesting. It could be very interesting in the fact that Georgia could come out and punch him square in the face. and
Who's
be
line?
like,
Hey,
we're still here.
As I can't steal that bit from someone. What do y'all think the line is right now for Georgia, Kentucky?
22.
I already know it, so I'm
I
not going
think
to
it's
say it.
14.
18 and a half.
It's 14.5.
14.
Oh, I saw 18.
I thought I saw 22 at one point.
Dude, that's insane. All right. I would have thought that this line would have been much, 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 much closer.
No one has any respect for Kentucky. Come on.
Are you kidding me? I mean, Jonathan, if you're saying that you've been winning money on Kentucky, I'm taking Kentucky plus 14.5. Especially because I have the hook.
I went 3-0 this past week.
I would take Kentucky that money any day of the week.
We're about to talk about, actually, that's a great transition. All right. So tune in next week. We'll talk about all those games. And we'll see if we were right or wrong with our predictions. But let's talk about our picks from last week because Jonathan and I are on a freaking heater. We are dominating.
You want to make money? Follow me. I got you.
And me. Hello. Currently sitting in first place is Austin.
Don't worry about it.
Austin is currently sitting in first place on this. Also, in my own personal NFL side, I am currently sitting at 62% for the year on in the NFL. I'm loving it right now. I've got a pretty good feeling on who's gonna win what games. But let's talk about our picks from last week because we had some good ones. Okay, we almost all went positive.
Besides Shane.
Shane was close though on a couple, maybe not so much.
Shane went 0-3, but really close.
No. Shane went 1 and 2.
1 and 3.
Shane went 1 and 2. Shane hit on the Vikings covering -3.5. Go Purple Vikings. The Dolphins. A lot of us did not win on the Dolphins. The Dolphins kind of, they got blown out. We'll talk about them on the NFL podcast. And then the Cuse boys couldn't cover against Clemson because I told you, Shane, Clemson, I think, figured it out. They're not going to be the Clemson of old, but they've figured it out to where they should win the games.
This is why I'm a terrible gambler, though. I am in the moment, too in the moment. I am living the dream.
Shane, you gotta find overreaction.
I think with college football, you got to find the games that are not big games. You got to find the small teams that always cover.
Look, my ADHD is not conducive to betting. I just rip my shirt. I get too excited about something. My autism takes over, and I can't even control myself. I'm just, let's go, I'm just fired up about life,
He's definitely on the spectrum.
You see the guys on from Pat McAfee's office. If you watch their gambling podcast, they crush it in college football and college basketball, but they do it by betting on the games that no one cares about. The small games.
Jacksonville State,
Liberty, Duquesne, all these schools that Vegas is just like, who cares? There's so little of money on it. You got to stay away from like the Texas OU game where there's going to be millions of bets on it.
But
now,
Gumpy is a footy baller. That dude can bet.
Once again, Vegas doesn't care about soccer, so they don't like handicap it properly. But Vegas will handicap it properly the games that get 250,000 tickets.
Yeah, that's true.
So, on that note, the other games from last weekend, Blake continuing to hammer away at the professional slate and crushed it this week with the Rams winning and the Seahawks winning, both NFC West teams plus 1.5 covered, but did lose to LSU.
That was
just hilarious because Blake bet on LSU, and that's probably why Blake has just been slandering them the whole podcast today because they did him dirty in the game with podcast. Part of it. I just put that together. Jonathan 3-0. All college bets. Kentucky continues to cover for him. The Aggies covered again because that's what great teams do. They don't just win; they cover. And Clemson did as well. And I'm gonna keep riding this train until it derails. For me, the Rice Owls are covering machines, and they covered yet again. I lost the Dolphins, but then the Chargers covered, so that was good for me. Thank you to the Raiders for just absolutely throwing that away. Appreciate it.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't know what this is. Blake, we can't read. Jacksonville State is what I see.
$100, boys. Plus 140.
All right. That's going to do it for this episode. We come in at about an hour. Crushed it this time. Good time management, everybody. Would love to see y'all continue to like, subscribe, 5-star reviews, all of that stuff. Tune in tomorrow for our NFL podcast. Appreciate, once again, shout out to our boy Steven for getting the word out there.
Shout out, Steve.
Be on the lookout for possible Football is King podcast merch.
Merch coming soon. I'm doing
in the
research.
future. Let the kids have fun and fire Bimbo coming at you. And that's going to do it. We will see y'all next time.
Long. Let's go, Stevie.
What'd you call him?